I'm a superhero.
Camping out with Julia Roberts. We actually got attacked that night by baboons as well.
I'm finding this a little bit revolting.
Megan Hine is a real-life Indiana Jones. She's an adventure guide and a survival expert. Part of her job is designing tasks for celebrities on adventure shows with the likes of Bear Grylls. She's written a life-changing book called Mind of a Survivor. This is Megan Hine.
So Megan, we're out on an adventure. First thing we've got to do is get a brew on.
Definitely, yeah. Always start the day with a brew.
Coffee.
Coffee's, yeah, is my weakness. A lot of it is about having control over the start of the day.
You wrote a book called Mind of a Survivor and it completely changed my life. And the way I read it was that if you're in a jungle or out somewhere up a mountain, if something happens to you, if you don't accept it, then you're in trouble.
The way I see acceptance is like you've got this door in front of you that's locked and you're focused and you want to get through this door and you cannot get through this door. When you get to the point where you accept the fact that this door is locked and you can't get through it and you can kind of look around. So by stopping, it just allows you that moment to like get a brew on and then you can make a plan.
We're stuck out on a desert island or something. What's the first thing we need to do for survival?
So we've got our priorities of survival, which are fire, food, shelter, water and sleep. If you're in a really cold environment, priority might be shelter. If you're in a really hot desert, then your priority is going to be water. Totally dependent on the environment that you're in, but I always kind of think, you know, what do I need?
Right, so we've got some food here we're going to do, and do you often go catching fish?
Yeah, so one of the things that I love doing, particularly when I'm at home, is spearfishing, which is kind of going underwater with a spear gun and hunting for, these ones are sea bass. There's moments sometimes under the water. Once you hit a certain depth, you then just start sinking. And it's the most incredible feeling just kind of floating there, like going down and just seeing all the fish around you and things. And it's like, you do forget that you're not designed to live under the water.
Did you have to stay very still and wait for them to come to you?
I've literally had them come up and like nose the end of the spear and I can't shoot them when they do that because it's like, this is too like suicidal fish.
Give them a bit of a mix. There you go.
Oh, it's got to be a bit of ABBA.
ABBA?
Yeah, it's just like happy, get moving.
Do you take ABBA, do you take music away with you?
Yeah, I do. Well, music really influences my mood, particularly when on a long job, when I'm out there for like months on end. In terms of like my rucksack, always keep it closed. If you're in the jungle, you get insects in there. Like in the winter, you get like spindrift in there.
And rain.
And rain. Definitely camping out with Julia Roberts.
What?
Yeah, and we actually got attacked that night by baboons as well. So it's like fending off baboons, camping out with Julia Roberts.
Why were you camping with Julia Roberts?
We were filming something for Comic Relief.
Right.
Yeah. A few days ago. Swiss Army knife.
How many things did it have in it? Because I got given one once with a bit of rope in it. I mean, string. So it had all that, the scissors.
Yeah, it was amazing, like the hook thing for getting like the stuff out of horses' hooves.
Is that
like,
what that was for?
I think so, yeah.
I've never had a whole fish and had to prepare it, so you're going to teach me now how to do this.
Yeah, it's just such a mindful thing to do.
Okay, so what sort of knife would you call this?
So these are Bushcraft survival
Bushcraft
knives,
survival.
yeah. What we're doing is like flip the fish upside down, and what I want to avoid doing is go through the guts. So we look for what's called the anal vent, and you want to cut all the way up to just under its chin.
Okay.
So just kind of going.
What's your relationship with food like? Most of us look at a dinner and think, oh, that's tasty. Are you looking at food thinking about calories?
Yeah, so like I've always had like a bit of a relationship with food where it's fuel. So it's all very much about getting the right levels of fuel in, very much about like the right nutrients and stuff as well. I really kind of like track that as much as possible.
Is there a bone I'm supposed to be going through?
Yeah, so there's just under like just a bit of cartilage. Push it through, yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's quite messy.
Really?
So you just go underneath all of the guts and stuff inside with your hands and you can just pull it out.
We have lost touch with nature so much that I'm finding this a little bit revolting. For me, I'd never imagine a fish to have guts.
The next thing you need to do is remove the scales, flip the knife upside down and then just remove the scales off there. What's so cool about these scales?
They're coming off.
Yeah, it gets rings, and under a microscope you can actually age the fish by the rings on the scales.
My one's 32. So Megan, one of the things that you have to be careful of, and we're talking about things which can hurt you, is water. If it's not clean, what happens to you?
You can get really sick.
We took this out of the Thames. Apparently there's 100 different types of fish which live in the Thames. It's really cloudy. Though you're going to make this, you believe, safe.
Yes.
However, I will say at this stage, you're going to drink this first. There's bits in it.
There is, it's grim.
So do we need to filter this first?
Within there you've got like viruses, protozoa, bacteria. Not all water filters treat the water, whereas this one does.
Okay, all
so
right.
this filters and it treats, and it gets rid of, it will kill off any viruses and bacteria.
You sure?
Yes, this goes into here, and then the water's going to come out of there.
Oh, hold on, there's no electricity, there's no battery.
No, it's all
Oh
hand.
no, I'm not keen on this. The Thames apparently provides 2/3 of London's drinking water when treated. Oh no.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Salty. It's an interesting flavour. And things like giardia can actually live in your system for years.
What is that? Does that live in the Thames?
I would imagine it does, yeah.
Do you know where the Thames? We need to discuss the dangers of going out. You nearly got eaten by a lion.
Yes. Yeah. I was actually doing a film shoot out in the desert. We didn't have sleeping bags or anything, so we were just sleeping on the desert floor. I felt like I was being watched. I kind of just rolled my head to the side, and there was a huge male lion just outside of the firelight.
And how did you stop the lion from eating you? Fire. I
Fire,
understand.
yeah, fire.
You got stung by a scorpion.
It was really painful.
Did you live?
And the following day, it was my turn to go and shoot a warthog. And I was sitting up a tree with a rifle in my hand with another instructor on the branch below me, thinking I'm going to fall out this tree and shoot this guy on my way down.
Bitten by a snake.
Yes, yeah.
Did you live?
I did live.
Okay.
I'm still here.
Caught in crossfire.
Yes, yeah. I happened to be working with a couple of guys in a gorge. I was just finishing off rigging a stunt, and suddenly this gunfire broke out around us. It was like hit all the sand around. It was pretty wild.
Did you live? Chased by drug cartel.
It was in Mexico. Yeah. Got hunted through the night there. Yeah.
Did you live?
Just about.
Malaria.
I haven't had malaria actually.
Oh,
I've had
didn't you?
dengue fever.
Oh, dengue fever.
Yeah, I've had dengue fever. You want to die in that state, yeah.
Did you live?
Okay, so starting at the tail and just taking the meat off.
Wow. We've got these ones from the fabulous Billingsgate Market, which is a tremendous place.
I'm going to chop up the fish into chunks.
We talk a lot about fight and flight, where apparently in society we're in fight and flight mode constantly. Do you think it's different when you're out and about on an adventure?
I think it's a more natural state. We've created this world around us that our brains haven't evolved to live in, and it's triggered a lot, from running late for a meeting, the constant noises around us. The world is crazy and overwhelming.
Part of your job is to work on TV shows. Which TV shows have you worked on?
I spent over a decade working with Bear Grylls. It's been absolutely incredible watching his career grow and being a part of that.
Do you like chocolate?
Love chocolates.
One of these is cheap-ish at 50p a truffle, which I still think is quite expensive.
Yeah.
The other one is £2 a truffle. So we've got to taste them and decide which one's the cheapest and which one is the most expensive. Clearly, I believe this one to be the most expensive because it's gold, but we'll have to see. Cheap. Actually, it's really quite nice.
It's really good.
Okay, now we need to try this one. Okay, that's really nice. Wow. I just have absolutely no idea.
They're both so good.
You choose first. Which one do you think is the most expensive?
Oh, I think the gold might be misleading, so I'm going to go with this one.
I think I'm going to agree with you. We think this one's the most expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive! Yeah! We did it. One of the most important things, I imagine, and I think you've talked to me about it before, is risk control.
I guess kind of always thinking through kind of worst case scenario. If I'm setting up an expedition, what I'm doing is basically building like a safety net underneath me. I'll know where like the points of escape are. I'll have like a rescue plan in place. Like expeditions, just like life, never go totally to plan.
When did it all start?
I had a very kind of outdoorsy upbringing. I found peace in it and just fascinated to see what I was capable of. And then once I started guiding, just seeing what I was capable of helping other people achieve. And it's just the most incredible thing.
Since I've read your book, I don't think I've had road rage. Because I just accept it now.
Master your environment.
Yeah. Master your emotions. And I always say my superpower, and I don't always do this by the way, because the red mist still does come down a bit. But when you don't do anything and you don't react, that is a superpower.
Yeah, it was when you can feel it starting to trigger and that and you're actually just like, right, take a breath, calm down, stay in a place of curiosity. Okay, so this crazy shit's happening. Like, why?
At the time, I think of all the things that I should have said or done, and then I wake up the next day and I haven't reacted at all, and I'm like, get me a cape, I'm a superhero.
Love it.
If only I could do it all the time, then Marvel would make a film about me, and you'd be in my origin story. He read the book, and then he got the superpower. He's in control of his emotions. Emotion man. Oh, it's really good. Oh, it takes me to the time that I was in the Amazon jungle. There I was, fighting snakes. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. Another couple of questions. Have you ever seen a UFO?
No, I've seen like a huge fireball and it was just like this huge, I don't know if it was a meteor or something, but like it was one of those moments where it's just like, did that really just happen?
And finally, what is the meaning of life?
Enjoyment, curiosity.
Oh, curiosity.
Yeah.
I like that.